Trippier's outswinger. Maguire, Kane! Has stolen it at the death! That's what he's there for! England's main man! A pile of English joy! Malul had nearly done it. Southgate has snatched it.
Yo, what's going on, guys? How is everybody doing? And probably recovering from yesterday. 2 goals. England left it late. Harry Kane, the hero. He stayed calm under pressure, did what he needed to do to flick that header in, and it was game over. I want to give you guys my thoughts on the first and second half display. Does England have what it takes to go all the way in this competition? I really don't know. So if you can drop a like and support it, that'd be very much appreciated. We're going to jump into the World Cup game mode as well, test out some of these new upgrades, and if you are needing game codes or anything game related, head over to g2a.com, use the code Fuji on that site to get a discount on every single order, and let's head into it. So what I decided to do, guys, was build a Belgium-England hybrid, because it was Belgium that took on Panama yesterday in the same group. They finished the game 3-0, but it wasn't a convincing start in the first half. Very slow, 1 or 2 chances. Maybe they were unlucky not to go 1-0 up. I think Hazard, actually, he had the opportunity to shoot across goal, and he just fired it straight at the keeper. But it was slow, and that's what matters. It was 0-0 going into the break, but the second they started to build up that momentum, and of course, one man that got on the score sheet, Mertens, what a volley, beautiful goal, and I knew he was going to score. I had that feeling, and I was praying that the game would end there, so he would get upgraded on this mode because he's insane. Yeah, he would have gone up to an 87, but of course, big man Romelu had other ideas. Good header and a good finish, and the game ended 3-0. I would say, judging by the way Belgium played in that second half and looking at the way England played in the first, it's going to be a really interesting game when they do match up against each other in the groups. I'm just worried about England defensively against Belgium, but I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the first and second half when England did play last night. So, Courtois in goal. We have Walker, Jones, Alderweireld, and Danny Rose. Danny Rose wasn't bad in this team. And then in the midfield, we have Carrasco, Witsel, Loftus-Cheek, who in my opinion was actually one of the star players, and for good reason in the second half when he was brought on. I'll explain things. We have Munir as the right mid, Harry Kane and Lukaku leading the attack. So this is the upgraded Harry Kane. 4 games, 2 goals, no assists. How many goals did he score yesterday? 2. It was meant to be. 4-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves, and I don't really know what's been upgraded. I hadn't used Harry Kane until this point. Finishing, shot power looks all good. Heading accuracy, strength. He does look like a bit of a beast in front of goal. And then we have Romelu Lukaku, 4 games, 4 goals, 2 assists. And you can just tell who looks better and suited for the game. Lukaku. He's got the pace. He's got the same weak foot and skill moves. You know what? He does actually look very much playable. The 90 sprint speed, the finishing, the strength, the heading accuracy. My good God. Romelu, will England be able to stop him? Let's go and find out. Do I believe England has what it takes to go all the way after their first half and second half performance? Let's go and find out. So of course, these are just my opinions on the game and the way I viewed it. If you think other players maybe deserve a little bit of the spotlight, let me know in the comment section. But to start off with, very good from England. I was actually kind of surprised. The way they were set out, it is perfect for Trippier and Ashley Young to really be whipping those balls in. And I think Trippier, to be fair to him, he had a really good game. Ashley Young, not so much. I was a bit disappointed with himself, and also seeing Sterling start as a striker. Now, I believe that's just so they can get a little bit more creativity going, because Sterling's pretty good on the ball, and having maybe Harry Kane alongside him would have worked, but it just didn't really cut it for me. And then in the second half, there was a straight swap, Rashford being brought on for Sterling, and honestly, Rashford, he went missing as well. He didn't really do much in the system, so maybe it's just the way they're set out and they can't get enough out of that secondary striker. I really don't know, but Harry Kane, very early on, it was a header won by, I believe it was Maguire. Maguire was in the mix of, well, 2 of the goals. So the first one that Kane whipped him, he had a really good header towards goal, fantastic save, and then Harry Kane on the rebound. And I thought with them scoring so early on, floodgates were going to be opened, and the way England was set out, very attacking, and they were actually dominating. With the amount of chances they had in the first half, Sterling scuffed one, it was Lingard that scuffed another, it was literally a first half of chokes. And I thought, this is going to come back to punish them, you know. It's one of those games, it's like typical foot champs where you're dominating chance after chance, and there you go. Penalty decision, Kyle Walker. I really don't know, like, I don't even know if it was a pen. It looked stupid the way he threw out his arms like that. Maybe he purposely did that to stop any run that was going to go in behind of him, but it just doesn't really make sense why he would put his arms that high. Maybe it was a correct call, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think it was weak, but I can understand why the referee gave it. But let me just say, this World Cup, the referees have been awful. And with the way they're implementing this VAR system, it's just totally the wrong way. When they should use it, they don't. When they don't need to use it, they do. I think that needs a little bit of work. To force it upon us in this World Cup, not a good idea. But back to the game, some of the standout players for me, you had Harry Maguire at the back. Trippier I thought was fantastic, and he has a nasty delivery inside the box. So if they can utilise that a little bit more and just get them whipped in, cause trouble, Harry Kane maybe score himself or head it down to other players, I think that's going to be really important in this campaign for England. Then on the opposite side, like I said, Ashley Young didn't really play well for me. Henderson in the midfield turned up. I actually really thought Henderson had a good game. And then it was like towards the end, they made a substitution and they brought on Loftus-Cheek, because so far, like, they created so much in the first half, it wasn't going to plan. In the second, they took their foot off the gas a little bit, and they didn't really have that they didn't really have that drive to go on and win the game. And it wasn't until towards the end they started to build up a little bit more momentum. They made a change and brought on Loftus-Cheek, and then you started to notice a couple of attacks down that right hand side, and they actually worked. Like, he got through in a dangerous position, and England started to click a little bit more. And then very late on, once again, Harry Maguire with the flick on to Harry Kane, and of course he kept himself calm, flicked it in, and it was a good header. He could have quite easily missed that. So fair play to Harry Kane. He didn't really do much in the game, but that's all that you want from your striker. Make sure you put the ball in the back of the net when asked upon. So for me, the best players, I would say Trippier was important, Henderson was very good, Harry Maguire won a lot of headers. Walker, I thought he had an okay game, but I'm just a little bit worried because defensively, when Tunisia started to really attack, I felt like England were a little bit vulnerable at the back, and coming up against a better team, which is Belgium, are they going to get exposed a little bit in this 3-back? But the way it's set up, attacking, they are dangerous, and if they can just continue playing like they did in the first half, it's looking bright. Like, I didn't think England were going to play as good as that, so I'm excited for them. I think they're going to easily get out of the groups. That was an important win. If they drew, oh god, that would have been a bit sketchy. But good win, 3 points on the table. They will get out of the groups, but how far do you think England are going to go based off of that performance? Let me know in the comment section. But boys, is Harry Kane, Lukaku any good? In the World Cup mode, you've got Lukaku that is pretty solid, still a bit of a lump, and Harry Kane was actually useless. He's got a very good finish, but I need a little bit more from my strikers. But thank you ever so much for watching. Give your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and I will see you on the next one. Team out. Peace.